Today is day 249 of the podcast, and I want to begin by reading Hebrews 1:3. It says, "He is the radiance of his glory and the exact representation of his nature. He upholds all things by the word of his power. When he had made purification for sins, he sat down at the right hand of the Majesty on high." When the Lord created man, we were formed in the image of God, according to his likeness, and in order to bear his likeness. We were formed from the beginning to be image bearers, sons, reflections of the nature of the Father on earth, just the way he is in heaven. And as we stood in his presence and we were exposed to his counsel, and we had this capacity to relationally express his glory, we were able to carry out and affirm the Father's desires. But at the fall, once we were separated by sin, we were naked. We were without the reflection of his glory. We lost our relational connect, and instead of being formed in his likeness, we began to be marred as we became conformed to the world. We were a marred version of what the Father's appearance is and what he looks like. We were a deformed creation. When Jesus came at the time of the incarnation, Jesus comes to give fallen man once more an exact representation of the Father's image, what he looks like, what his nature and his character is all about. And we once more had on earth an image bearer. And as we look upon him, we can regain an understanding of who we were created to be. John 14 shares, Jesus speaks and he says, "If you've seen me, you've seen the Father." And that's what we're supposed to be able to say. We also were created to be image bearers. He came to purchase our redemption, to bring this fallen creation back into the fullness of its purposes. And when we were purchased and restored to this fellowship, we're unfamiliar with how that's supposed to look. We're unfamiliar with what restored relationship expresses. But Jesus is modeling that for us. He modeled what restored relationship and restored image bearing looks like. As we observe his sonship, we learn all about our own. So today's question for you: when it comes to your relationship with the Heavenly Father, do you live more like a servant or an orphan or a son?